Hello, tiny friends. Welcome back to TinyKeyHoleMinis. I'm Jolene, and it is good to be home. I am home from my trip. I actually went home to visit my family, so I was actually home away from home. And I thought I would share some of the things that I explored, some of the things that I found, and some of the treasures that were given to me. And I'm really excited to be back home because I've got some great projects planned that I want to get to. But before I get to showing you what I brought back home, I found this pile on my desk. And the kids like to bring me things that they think I'm going to use or I may like. And well, tiny friends, they just get it. They do. um, I believe my 6-year-old grandson put this Lego model on my desk because normally I'm the one that sits and puts these things together with him. So this is the Aston Martin 007 Lego car. And I'm not sure if he doesn't want to do it or if he does, but if he does and when he does, I will be the one most likely to sit here and put it together with him. But I love all the treasures that they give me. They know that I'm in here working and would probably use most of these materials. My son left me a bag of reindeer moss, which is really going to come in handy for this big project that I'm going to be doing very soon. And also a package of brooms for maybe some Halloween crafts, or I can take these pieces apart and use the materials in several of my projects. A ball of twine, that's always useful. And then my son likes to collect these action figures, and sometimes he gives me some of their props. This is a open book, and it's got some really great carved and engraved details. This would be a really good book to transform into the book from Hocus Pocus or the Book of the Dead from the movie Evil Dead. However, I thought it was a pretty cool little piece, and it may come in handy later on down the road for one of my projects. I'm going to try to show you if you can see some of the engraved detailing on the pages. I'm not really sure what it is, but you can kind of see some of the page here. And then he gave me some of these pieces that were actually part of an outfit. I guess they go around the arms of the figure. And he brought me this giant piece of burlap. And I'm so thankful for this because I'm always cutting up the burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. So this is going to come in really handy when I'm creating the barn or outside in the yard of the Josephine house. Okay, I'm going to share some of the things I found and discovered while I was on my trip. I am a huge thrifter, and it's where I usually get a majority of my supplies. It's a great way to save money, tiny friends, and also find unique and vintage pieces for your miniature projects. Um, Bargain stores, secondhand stores, thrift stores, garage and yard sales. If you're working on a budget like I am, hopefully this will help you as well. The first thing I found was this skeleton doll. This doll was sculpted out of polymer clay. He's very well detailed. I love his outfit. There isn't a signature, but he's got some really good detail. I love the coat and his coattails. I love his rose, and you can see some of his detail in the rib cage. He's posable. I wish he had a signature on him. He's a little bit taller than the Frankenstein doll, but that's probably because he is standing on his tippy toes. So that's okay. I don't know if he was a dancing skeleton or where he came from. He looks like he used to have a top hat and maybe he lost it. So I will create him a top hat. It'll be fun doing so. But I thought he was super cute and I did not want to leave him behind. So for now, he will join the monster squad until I can figure out where he's going to be placed. I did find a bag of miniatures, and in the bag there was this little cuckoo clock, which was brand new. I actually tore the top off so I can check it out. It doesn't have a lot of detail on it, so I am definitely going to be adding to this little cuckoo clock. Um, Maybe I'll be able to actually put a bird. I'm not really sure, but I am definitely going to add more detail to this cuckoo clock to make it look a little more realistic. The bag also came with a brand new set of copper cookware, and this adorable teapot came with that set. Oh my gosh, I love this teapot. I love the shape. I love the detail. The lid comes off. I don't have a teapot or kettle like this. So this is definitely going to make its way into the Josephine house when I get down to the kitchen to finish off the kitchen. It's really hard because I kind of always want to put everything I get or have in the Josephine house, and I have to tell myself, you know what, it's okay. Not everything has to go in there, and it's it's hard to stop myself from putting everything in there. The set also came with a three-piece pan set. Then it came with a stock pot. I also got this adorable set of dolls from Miniature World, and I love these. I've seen these before. These are super cute. They're made of some sort of string or yarn. They've got a knitted outfit with a hat and a matching dress and a little wooden ball for a head. They're just super cute, and they come with two. I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet, but they're adorable. And then this little teddy bear that is posable, but I believe the joints are just, the limbs are placed with a piece of thread, so they don't really stay posed unless you're tacking them down or gluing them down. But this little bear was super cute. I've seen them everywhere, and they're always different. Usually I don't find miniatures in thrift stores, so I get super excited when I do, and I always buy them when I find them. Okay, another thing I like to do, tiny friends, is look through the jewelry collection. Costume jewelry, vintage jewelry, it all makes great additions to your miniature projects, and it helps you create one-of-a-kind unique pieces. You're going to find a lot of vintage jewelry in the secondhand and thrift stores, in the garage and yard sales, and I found a good amount this go round. I'm going to share with you some of the ideas that I was thinking about when I found these pieces. This one was a really unique necklace. It has a lot of unique pieces on it that I can pull off and add to my little miniature accessories, and I thought that they would make great little unique pieces. So this was a good find. It's got tons of little charms. They're all metal, really unique beads, and I thought this would be super fun to try and come up with different ways that I can use some of these pieces. So a charm bracelet or charm necklaces or something that has a lot of different pieces are always good finds. I found a pair of earrings that I thought would make great lids to canisters or jars. I can make a set of canisters with two different sizes. They're metal and they have a unique design on them. So I thought these ones were pretty neat as well. Okay, I found these button earrings that have apples on them. They're super cute. They're a little bit thick and they're covered with some sort of fabric. But when I saw these, I immediately thought of canning jar lids. And I do have molds to create canning jars, so I can easily extend the fabric and add additional fabric around underneath these lids to make it look like they were wrapped with a piece of cloth. I found these pair of earrings, and they're just also little tiny studs that I could use for some sort of cosmetic jar or lids of some sort. So it's really good to look through all the earrings. I found these earrings. Now this came with 2 pair, but I was mostly interested in the larger pair because I thought they would make great frames. I could attach an image or a photo onto them and then put it in the house or in my scene for a decorative piece or a photo frame. I also found these pins, and I don't normally find little pins like this. This actually has an image that you can remove and replace it with another image, but this little pin would serve multiple purposes. I could use it as a tray. I love the decorative trimming around it. I could use it as is for a decorative piece, or I could replace that image and put a photo in there. So that was a very great find. And then I have this little pin as well that could be a decorative piece. It has a cross and a rose on it. But again, I love the trimming around it. I found this necklace that was kind of similar, only in a necklace form. And again, this could be put on the wall as a decorative piece as is. It could be attached to a piece of furniture. Um, and I also found this necklace. Well, I don't even know what this is, but I love the patina on this. It's got initials on it that are either RPE or RYE. Maybe it says Rye. I don't know. But I thought it was super unique and I just love it as is. So I don't know what I'll be doing with it, but I'm sure I'm going to find something to do with it. Here are a couple butterfly pins that I thought I could possibly add to some furniture for detail or add for some sort of decor piece. Here is a pair of leather earrings. They're a little thick, and I would probably paint the color, but I thought that they might come in handy to maybe make some handbags. So I grabbed these as well. Whenever you're in a thrift store or some sort of store like that that has thrift finds, used goods, whatever the case may be, always look through their jewelry because you'll find lots of useful supplies for your miniature makes, and you'll find unique pieces and vintage pieces that you'll be able to use. I found these 2 pieces and they're larger than the scale I work in, which is 1/12. This is a butcher block that it was actually a recipe card holder, and I thought this was so cute. Everything on it is wood, the bowls, the apples. It's pretty heavy and pretty solid, but I plan on removing the pieces to it, including the legs and using the block. I feel like I can transform this into some sort of cabinet with drawers. Of course, they won't open, but I thought it would be a good piece to use in the lab for the Frankenstein doll. And then I would just add on top of it. And then the feet are pretty unique, so I could always use those in something else. This hutch is super adorable. It's again, slightly bigger than 1/12, but perfect for any type of diorama scene or a larger doll scene or house. I'm going to leave it as is. It has such an adorable design on it, a country rustic design. I know a lot of collectors like this stuff. Um, I'm not going to modify it, but I will clean it up and add accessories to it. I really want to keep it as is. But maybe some handles and maybe possibly use some of the pieces on the butcher block, add some of those canning jars with the cute apple lids, but this is going to be eventually in my Etsy shop. Okay, I'm always looking for these display boxes or these little knick-knack boxes, and I found 2 of them. They were $2 a piece, and it really helps me to keep my miniatures out where I can see them so that I don't forget what I have. So when they're stored in boxes, I forget what I have. Or if there's miniatures that I want to use in upcoming projects, they're right there on the wall and I can easy access them or look at what I have and come up with new projects. So I'm always looking out for these little boxes. But speaking of boxes, I did find a few more boxes. Okay, this is an old music box. The music mechanism is broken. It no longer plays the music. It looks like Beauty and the Beast. It definitely looks like Belle and Beast in the Prince form. I have no idea how old it is. I couldn't find any information on it. When I looked it up, I did see another one. It has a label on the bottom that names the song that it's playing, and that's all I can find on the other one as well. I love the studded legs on this. This is a lovely box. It really is. So please don't get mad at me, tiny friends, because I am always sleeping, eating, drinking, and breathing miniatures. Even when I am home away from home, I'm still thinking about miniatures, and that's what I saw this box to be. But I did think I can convert this to a much needed miniature, so I already started to do that. This is footage of when I was back home, and we're going to come back and revisit this in the next video, where I'm hopefully going to be able to convert this into what I am seeing in my head. Okay, I did find a few more boxes that I am not willing to modify. There'll be more of storage boxes for my miniatures and supplies. This is an old record box from the 60s. It holds 45 RPM records, and I was in one of my local stores here where I live now admiring these just a few weeks ago. And now I found one that was only $5, a lot cheaper than they wanted, and I love it. Tiny friends, when you're looking in the secondhand stores, you come across boxes, old jewelry boxes, dressers, chests, old antique pieces. Sometimes they still have a few treasures inside that were overlooked when they came into the place. Sometimes people don't know that there are false bottoms where people like to stash treasures. Always look thoroughly if you're purchasing any of these boxes, or if you come across any that you're going to be keeping. Always look carefully and thoroughly. Um, the boxes that I found did come with a few little treasures that I could possibly use in my miniature projects. This one came with some remnants that have probably been with it from the beginning, and it came with the index cards that you can actually file your records, so you can make a list and put them in kind of like in a file form. This is the set of index cards that it came with, and you can label your records and have a little inventory system of your collection. Um, I knew that it came with that when I looked in the box. I saw that, but it wasn't until I really got put and started looking through all the boxes when I found the adapters as well. I know you can still purchase these online and possibly even 3D print them, but these ones are original from its day and time, so they'd probably be a little more expensive. I have done a search in the past, and I did see some that were a little pricey. It also came with a receipt, and I couldn't really make out the receipt because it's from an older register, but there was a date on it that said March 13th, 1975. I thought this would make a really good storage box for some of my miniature materials and my supplies that I have. But I really love the contents that came inside this box because it's just a piece of history, and I really appreciate that. So that was kind of a cool find for me. Again, you want to check all and every bit of boxes, storage boxes, old containers, old furniture pieces, because you never know what's hidden inside them. Okay, this next box actually came from the city that I'm actually from, and I'm going to try my best to show you these next few boxes because the next two are pretty large. I'm not really set up as far as my view, so please bear with me. But this box is an old Kodak box, and it came from the 50s, and I'm from the city where Kodak was born, and this is an old lens case. I think it looks kind of like, and it could be repurposed as an old cosmetic case. It just needs a really good cleaning, but I bet you it would clean up really good. I love this box. I love this box so much. But the really cool thing about this box is that when you open it, it has 3 drawers, and right now they have plastic trays in them that would hold the film little dividers, which are in here. This is a case for Kodachrome transparencies. I think this is what they came in. And then these little brown dividers, they actually slide into place in these plastic trays. And then they divide the film so you can keep them organized. This box is so cool. It would be perfect for cosmetics, for supplies, maybe a travel case, repurpose it for some sort of miniature scene or house or a book nook. I mean, this is a brilliant little case that they used to use for their films. And I just thought that these boxes would be more interesting to look at around my space, and I can keep some of my supplies a little more organized instead of having them sit out as is or what I have them in now. These next 2 boxes are fairly large size jewelry boxes, and this one is a musical box. It still works. I think that these are perfect for your supplies, your little tidbits, your little pieces, for all your little parts for your miniature projects. This drawer opens up here, and this drawer triggers the music. And it plays You Light Up My Life. Okay, the label says quality products from J Import Co. Inc. And from the type on the label, it tells me it's from the 70s, 80s era. And the song choice was also a popular choice for music boxes for them days as well. This is a bigger box. It's got lots of little drawers, and oh my gosh, I love this so much. I have no idea how old this box is, but I love the drawers. There's little dividers and separators and compartments, and this box is a perfect box for my tools, my supplies, and definitely very interesting to look at. It is a little beat up, but I don't mind because the age just tells the story and time of this piece, and I love everything aged, even my miniatures. So this was a great, great find. I think I paid $10 or $12 for this box. I would have liked to paid less, but I love it, so it was okay. Now, I can never go into a secondhand store without hitting the fabric section. I'm such a sucker for fabric. I really am. I've been collecting fabric since before starting my miniatures, and I found some really great pieces for less than $2. This first piece is a pretty big size piece of fabric, and it has red polka dots on it that are actually textured. I don't know if they're embroidered or if they're just like little knots, but you can feel the polka dots. And I cannot wait to make a dress out of this. I just keep seeing a dress. I just want to make lots of things out of this piece of fabric. Some linens, an apron, a dress. I love this piece of fabric. These polka dots are perfect scale, and it says 40s to me. And then these pieces, some of these are pillowcases and some are just linen pieces, but the trimming on these are beautiful. Embroidered lace trimming, and I can cut these pieces off and use them for multiple projects and multiple accessories throughout the house or my miniature scenes. Always check the fabrics, tiny friends. You can find tons of vintage fabrics, tons of small prints, and it's really, a great way to save money on your fabrics for your miniature projects. This one has a really pretty design on it, and I could not believe I found these. And again, they were less than $2 a piece. So, and they're pretty large. Besides using the trimming, I can use the fabric as well. And they're all different designs. So I lucked out with these, but I'm kind of conflicted because they're so nice and the linen on them is that heavy linen. You know how uh, back in the day, the sheets, the heavy linen, when you're putting the sheets on the bed, you'll hear that slap sound. I'm always looking for those sheets for my own bed. And I kind of want to keep these for my own pillows. So I don't know. I might change my mind and not want to use these because they're absolutely gorgeous and they're in great condition. No stains. These were kept really nicely. So I don't know yet. I can tell they're not from a smoker's home. They're nice and crisp. They're pressed. They're pressed. And they were kept in very good condition. So I don't know if I have the heart to cut them apart or not. So maybe not. I really appreciate things like this. And I might have a hard time taking them apart and destroying them. Okay, here's a cute little fabric bag that was given to me by a family member. It had a bar of soap in it, and I love the floral print on this. This is a perfect piece for a miniature make, and after watching little Gretchen create her pillowcases, I have been so inspired to create my own. And I'm going to turn this into a smaller scale pillowcase for Margot's bed. She was also going through all her old clothes and she was trying to get rid of them. And here's another thing, tiny friends, if you come across somebody that has old clothes, they no longer fit, you're not in need of them, maybe you might want to use some of the material, some of the fabric. Here's a piece that came off of a shirt. I knew I didn't want the shirt nor the fabric of the shirt, but I knew I wanted the trimming. So I just cut the trimming off and threw the rest of it away. I know I can use this trimming on several projects, so it's a good thing to keep that in mind too when you're looking for this embroidered lace trimming, or this stuff is expensive in the stores where you can get it for free most of the time, if or next to nothing when you're purchasing secondhand clothes, or you're coming across somebody that's giving clothes away, or even your own clothes you can look through. And if there's things that you no longer fit into or want and you can use pieces and parts, definitely cut that stuff off. It'll save you lots of money. When I was visiting one of my sisters, she let me go through her stash. She likes to work with beads and make jewelry and all kinds of macrame pieces and stuff like that. So she had a giant stash of different beads and bead spacers and all kinds of sorts of things that I know would be useful to me. She's also starting a button collection. Now, I have a large button stash, and I told her next time we get together, she'll be able to go through my stash of buttons and different things that I have that I know she could use. This one reminds me of an ashtray. If you've seen my vintage ashtray stands made of antique metal buttons, that's what I plan on using this for, only it's going to be a table ashtray. I'll add the ashes and the cigarette butts, and if I don't decide to use it for a project, it'll make its way into my Etsy shop. They're beautiful, beautiful. I believe these are glass beads. I'm not really sure. I know she has some fancy, expensive beads. This one has a beautiful design on it, some sort of floral print, beautiful colors. These are great for making decorative toiletry bottles, perfume bottles. Um, I just love these. You can put these on beds for decorative posts. If you're creating a bed frame out of metal, you can add these on there as well. I picked out a few of these bead spacers that look like the water pipe knobs or the water spigot knobs, and I know that I definitely need some of those. So I also found these little hands that are some sort of charm, but they don't have the little loops on them, the little rings attached. So that was really cool. I'll be using these in place of the planchettes for some of the old wooden Ouija boards that I made. And they do come with planchets, but I'm going to replace those. Here's a really pretty decorative glass bead. She also gave me this set of buttons, which I think that I think these will be perfect for a project that I have in mind. Okay, these are those bead spacers that I used when I created the light bulb from the hot glue. Mine were gold. These are silver. I definitely could use a few more of those. Okay, tiny little charms like this next one makes great embellishments and added detail for your miniature pieces. The possibilities are endless. Photo frames, jars, decorative perfume bottles, clothing, luggage, handbags, decorative boxes. It just goes on for tiny little charms. They make the perfect embellishments. These are very unique. I've never seen these before. These are a type of seed bead, and I believe she called them super duos. They have 2 holes, and I thought they would make great fasteners or buttons for clothing or a jacket. So I picked up a few of these, and I really thought these were pretty neat since I've never seen them before. I'm going to have to find some of these online and get more of these. Here's a beautiful glass bead with a beautiful floral design. And then she had a little little skull beads. Here's another decorative bead with a floral print. Looks like some sort of cherry blossom. So I'm super thankful that she let me go through her stash, and in return, she can gladly go through mine. Okay, with Halloween over, and gosh, that reminds me I have to put my decorations away, and that is never any fun. 'Tis the season, tiny friends, for Christmas ornaments. They are perfect for miniature projects. I found this 3-piece set for I think $2.50 at Walmart. And the Walmart up north is a lot different than the Walmarts down where I'm living, and they carry different stuff. And these are super, super cute little lanterns that I will be revamping and probably also putting these in my shop. I plan on putting some waxed candles inside. I'm not really sure how I'm going to paint them or decorate them, but I do know I want the candles inside. I may actually put the windows in place. I'm not really sure yet, but they're so cute. So look through the holiday ornaments because there's lots of ornaments that are scaled down. I also came across this miniature wooden house kit for $1, and I thought that this would be really cute or something to work on with my grandson if he was curious or wanted to build his own. And I'm not sure the scale. I think it might be 1/24. I'm not sure if it has an open back, but if it doesn't, I'm sure when we're creating it, we can leave that side open and then add all the details and make it look like a miniature dollhouse. So for $1, this would be a great kit to do with the kids. And they can explore their imagination and create it how they see it. And I just love seeing that stuff because it's funny to see what kids come up with or how they make things. It's one of my favorite forms of art is children's art. So a perfect thing to do with the curious kiddos or the ones that just want to explore, do what you're doing. Here are some little tidbits that I found in the jewelry boxes. So this is what I mean by always checking everything. So I found all of these little pieces inside the drawers of the jewelry box that would come in handy for me. A pair of earring studs. They don't have any backs, so I don't know if they were magnetic earrings or some sort of bead. A little ladybug pin. How cute is that? Just some earring backs, a pin back, a spring, a little clasp, and then this tiny little piece of paper. It says paid for Times Union week ending October 12th, 1985, and then it has 150 written in pen. I don't know if this belongs to some sort of paper. I think the Times Union sounds like some sort of paper or flyer or something, but it looks like it's a little tiny punch out receipt. But I thought it was super cute. I don't know. I live in miniature form, so anything tiny that I can use is super cute to meet tiny friends. Okay, so my sister lives in this beautiful northern town that sits in the valley of the mountains in the southern tier part of New York. And I captured this picture on the way into town. And I know it's a little blurry, but you guys get the idea, right? There's just something about a northern fall that nothing else can compare or compete with. And it's probably the only time that I actually want to visit the North or even live in the North. So there were some interesting facts about this town that I thought would be pretty cool to share with you all. And the town does this really cool community thing that us miniature lovers would probably appreciate. So I wanted to share that as well. But this is Dansville, New York, and they are known for granola. So apparently granola was born here in this town. Another interesting fact is this house. This is the back of the house, but I would definitely turn that tiny little house into a miniature workshop for sure. This is an old historical house. It is actually the Clara Barton House. It's the very first American Red Cross house. It was founded in 1881 by Clara Barton, chapter number 1. So I had no idea that this house actually remained in Dansville, but it's a beautiful Victorian style house. It had the red trimming around it to signify that it was an American Red Cross house. Now, something super fun about this town is that the town does this fairy door thing where there are fairy doors hidden all throughout the town and you have to try and find them. And it's a whole big thing. The community's in on it. They have this fairy festival event or something to that sorts. And, I love this. I ate it right up. No questions asked. I jumped on that train and called the Fairy Doors of Dansville. And I'm going to show you a photo montage. They actually have a map and the doors are placed around the town. Most of them are actually in the display windows of the stores on the very main strip. Some are located in the establishment. There's also a park called Pioneer Park that some are located on the trees in the park. I didn't get to make it to the park this trip, but I do plan on it for the next visit. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram at Fairy Doors of Dansville. Some of the pictures will be harder to make out because of the glare from the window, but I was able to find almost all of them. I think all but 7 minus the park. But have fun with it and let me know which one your favorite door is in the comments below. I hope this video was helpful today, tiny friends, when it comes to finding unique supplies and saving money for your miniature projects. I'm always being asked where I find certain supplies or certain pieces and where I find vintage fabrics with small prints, and I thought this would be a great time to share some of that since I was bringing some of this stuff home with me from my trip. So that is all I have for you today, tiny friends. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought about everything and the fairy doors in the comments below. See if you can guess which doors belong to which business. It's a little bit tricky because you would think they're a specific type of business and they're not. I want to thank all my subscribers. Thank you everybody for subscribing. Welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that top bell notification button so you don't miss out on any upcoming projects. And until the next time, tiny friends, you all have a lovely day and I will see you all on the mini side.